I want to just remind you guys, if you're new, what we want is asking great questions. And when we ask great questions, what we want to do is listen to their answers. There is nothing wrong, guys, with taking notes when you're on this call, or even when you're in front of a buyer or seller. I do it all the time because they're going to drop little nuggets and they're going to use certain words. And we want to make sure we hear those and remember those words to use. I do post these videos on YouTube. And if you'd like to subscribe, that'd be great. We like to keep the conversations high level, fast paced, not a lot of details on who shot John in specific transactions. We want to make sure you get your value out of here. So if you'd like to see some past episodes, go to Denny Grimes Master of Real Estate and subscribe. I'm almost up to 1,000. So Joe Rogan, watch out. I'm coming for you, baby. And then if you don't know, we do a daily thing also called Recon. So you can go to reconroleplay.com. I want to give the thought of the day, you guys, and then we'll kind of go into some conversations. I brought up on the Recon I hosted today, I had a thought that I never really had. And that's why I love being on these things with you guys, because I learned from you. And my thought of the day is, I want to discuss a little bit. Open discussion is, what are you worth to a seller? Where I come from, and you've heard this before, if you've been on the call, my mental mindset, every cell in my body believes when I'm talking to a seller that I'm going to provide a great service for them. I think you guys do too. One more thing that my cells kind of permeate is I am making them money. I am free to them. And it's not that unusual to think about. And so I want to build on this concept a little bit, because I had people talk to me, pull me aside on some of my role plays and say, I don't quite understand it. So we can talk about it more if you want to. However, let me just give you another example. So you go to the dentist, which isn't my favorite place to go. I'd rather go to happy hour. Well, let's say you go to dentist and they actually give you a fill a cavity. Well, let me ask you, I mean, could you not watch a YouTube on how to do that? Could you not maybe go to Amazon and get some sort of high-speed drill you could hook up to your lawnmower or something? You could kind of drill your tooth and maybe put a little numbing cream on there. Could you not do it yourself? Yes, it's a ridiculous thought, but how about dancing? Could you teach yourself ballroom dancing by yourself? I don't think so. So my point is, what are we worth to a seller? I think we're free. And so the discussion today, and we'll pick up any hand and we'll get into it. The discussion today was a lot of at the table for sale by owners, for example. They're trying to save the money. So if you're taking notes, here's kind of the way I would always run the basis with a for sale by owner. Number one, are they willing to pay a fee if I bring a buyer or someone were to bring a buyer? Okay. And if they say yes, then two things. Number one, whatever amount of money they're attempting to save would be cut in half, right? Because there's the sellers, even buy owners, know there's a buyer fee and a seller fee. They're attempting to save the seller fee. They're going to pay the buyer fee. Here's the question I asked today, which I had never thought about before. So, Susan, I see you there. Can you come off mic a little bit?
Hi there.
Let's just assume, Susan, you now are the seller, for sale by owner. I have a conversation with you at the table, and you're willing to pay me a buyer's fee. Okay, if I bring you a buyer, right?
Yep.
So just role play with me. We haven't rehearsed this, so this may fly or die. We'll see. So let me ask you, Susan, why would you pay an agent a buyer's fee if they brought you a buyer?
Because that's what normal and customary.
Okay, meaning that you feel like it's if everybody does it, you want to do it, right? Would there be other than customary? Would it be of any other value to you?
Will they bring me a buyer?
Okay, but you can find a buyer by yourself.
I'm trying to.
Okay. So are you doing it because there's a benefit?
Yes.
Okay. Now, sometimes you guys, and I teach this, this is where the high level mastery comes in. Mr. Miyagi in Karate Kid probably could have coached Daniel's son much faster in breaking boards. However, what he took him through the process of wax on, wax off, right? He took him through to get him ready for the concept. And so sometimes when we have conversations, you guys get to the heart of the matter too fast, and you want to build a case first. So if it's for sale by owner says, well, yeah, I'll pay someone who brings me a buyer, and they admit there's a benefit, my next question would be, well, in the real estate transaction, the listing agent says, she used the word customary, right? I'm going to use the word customary. Well, isn't it customary that you would hire a listing agent to get your home sold?
Yes, but I guess I could do it on my own. I see where
Okay.
you're going.
I'm sorry?
I see where you're going. Yeah.
So first of all, if they can acknowledge, if you can get them to acknowledge they're paying a buyer's agent fee for bringing them a buyer, that must be some value to it. Well, if there's value on one side, there has to be value on the other side. Now, we haven't cracked the case yet. Perry Masons have not cracked the case. However, do you see, I mean, a light bulb went off in your mind, right, Susan?
Yes.
So now what we have to do is answer this question to them. So who would like to work on that to be a little bit stronger? I mean, a lot stronger when you have your conversations with a seller. Anybody want to role play that? Anybody want to work on that? If not, we'll go to something else.
I like that. I like to stay on this topic actually, because it's not just for sell by owner. It's also when you're doing expired calls or cancel. Some of them they actually change their mind. So I like that. I like that topic. I do see the switch of they're willing to pay a buyer's commission, but they won't pay a seller's commission.
Right.
So let's role play that. I certainly don't mind it. I'm getting to learn.
All right. So I like to have other people participate. Would you like to be the agent and role play it, or do you want to be the seller?
Doesn't matter, whoever. I'm open. Come on, Tanner. I haven't seen you in a long time.
But Tanner, yeah, where's he been?
Danny,
He just logged out, I suppose.
Tanisha, I can't add my name to raise my hand.
Okay. I'm sorry. Did you want to raise your hand?
Yes.
Okay. So you want to be the seller?
I start off with yes, I'll be the seller.
All right. So let me give you some steps to follow. Make some notes here, Susan, and the rest of you, because I use, like, look behind me. I have this when you have an objection. Isolate, clarify, or you're meeting with someone. Basically, you got to get their motivation and then their pain. I'm using the baseball diamond. I'm going to give you a couple of steps when you're dealing with building your value as an agent. So number one, find out here. First step is find out if they're paying the buyer's agent. Then whatever fee that is, I don't want to pay $40,000. If they're going to pay $20,000 to the buyer's agent. Okay, so that's step one. Why? You've taken the fee and cut it in half. So number two, instead of $40,000, now they're attempting to save $20,000. Now, here's my second statement that I said today that I had never said before. I've said it in another way, but not like this. Listen, would you hire a painter and pay a professional painter, Susan, to paint your house? And then would you then go outside and paint it yourself?
No.
That's what a buy owner is doing. Now, I said that this morning. Some of you heard it. Some of you are hearing it for the first time. Can someone tell me what I mean by that? Because I think that's super powerful.
Can you say that again, Denny?
Sure. So let me
I
ask
think-
you, since you hired a painter to paint, a professional painter to paint your house, and you paid him $15,000. Would you then on a Saturday thinking, oh, I think I'll go do this myself? Would you then go paint it yourself after you've already paid a painter to do it?
No,
Why?
because I hire a professional and expect it to get it done properly,
Okay. I mean, why would you pay for something and not let them do it, right?
right?
Now, can somebody who's on the call make the bridge?
I could make the bridge, but at first I'd like to play devil's advocate. Because what if they then come back and say, well, why would I pay an agent to represent me? Isn't that like me paying 2 painters to paint my house?
Well, okay, so here, now, okay, that's fine. I'll just say, well, the bottom line is, if I can sell it, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna go back to what I said. This is how I made the bridge, because you guys know I teach a class in Keller Williams Bold, and I'm talking to everybody right now as an agent. Everyone on this call is paying for coaching, even if you haven't hired a coach. Does anyone understand that?
Yes. You're paying for coaching to elevate your success, make you more money. And if you're not paying for coaching, you are paying it on the rear end because the public's taking it out of your hide.
Well, the bottom line is that basically, yes. I mean, so the way you're paying it is that you're not making it. So if coaching costs you $1,000 a month, it's costing you 3 times that not to have a coach, because that's how much money you're leaving on the table. Now, do you get that concept? Because I think it translates over exactly. Okay, it translates over. If a seller is going to sell their house, they're paying the commission even if they don't hire an agent. How? They're going to sell it for less. Now, I know there's NER statistics that say they sell it for $1 bazillion less. I don't remember the stat. I don't remember. However, I think it's scientifically proven that a for sale by owner will sell it for less. Have you not heard that, seen that, been taught that, read that? So if that is the case, if that amount is greater than the commission, are they not still paying the commission?
Yeah, I see where you're coming. I do have a question for you. I mean, if this is strictly a FISBO from the get-go, but then oftentimes I get sellers that was expired and became a FISBO because whoever the agent was did not show them the value or just, turn them off to an agent. And I get this, and I'm like, well, how do you know? And I try to break down the barrier. How did you know the agent that you used was the right agent to help you? And know that you had a bad experience. Why? How come you're not using or getting a second opinion?
Well,
I can't get them to get off that fence if they came off.
Let me just handle the role play. Then Don, look for people getting their hands up who wants to go next, because and if you look at the chat too, I'm not looking at the chat. So Susan, be that seller. You were listed. Now you're going by owner, right?
Right.
All right. So I'm at the table and I go through my listing presentation. I said, okay, Susan, are you ready to move forward with me?
No.
Okay. Tell me more.
Well, I don't see how you're gonna do anything different than the previous agent that put my house on the market.
Okay. Other than that, what's your plan?
I'm gonna sell on my own.
So
I don't see how you're presenting to me what you're gonna do to get the property sold.
well, so you still want to sell. So you think you can do what you can do it a better job than a professional agent, right?
I think so.
And why would you, what is the main reason? I mean, obviously, there's agents out there that sell houses. In fact, when your home was on the market, there was 13 houses that sold in your zip code. And all of those were with other agents. So there's not a problem with agents selling houses and sellers being happy. You had a bad experience, right? So why wouldn't you consider hiring the right agent this time, not the wrong agent? What's keeping you from doing that?
Well, I don't see me paying you a commission to represent me and then doing the things that I can do.
Okay, so what I'm doing, guys, you've got to get down to the crux of it. Now, she didn't bring up money at first, but I'm going around. I have to have her say that. So is it a money issue?
Well, why would I pay a commission to an agent to represent me when I could do it on my own?
I get
And I
that.
tried it the first time around.
I got that, but if the agent were free, would you hire them?
Absolutely.
So is it a money issue?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk in terms of this. Number one, I'm gonna go honor what I told you guys. So let's just assume you're gonna go on your own. Are you still gonna set aside money like you did before, because you were listed, money to pay the buyer's agent? Are you still gonna do that?
Sure, they bring me a buyer
Okay, and why are you doing that?
because they're gonna bring me a buyer and I'm gonna get to close.
Do you think there's a benefit in that?
Yes.
Okay, because you don't have to do it. You can put up a skull and crossbones and wear garlic around your neck. So I don't want any real estate agents anywhere within 5 miles of me. So you're doing it because there's a benefit, correct?
I do because, yeah, that's how they earn a living and when they bring me a buyer.
I don't think you care about them earning a living, because listing agents earn a living too. Do you care about that?
No,
Okay. Now, let me ask you guys, you're having a conversation with someone. Would you call them out on that?
I would actually, I would. I mean, on because I'm pretty direct, right?
So give me one more minute and I'll finish this, guys. All right, so I just went ahead and modeled for you what I just said at the beginning, the thought of the day. Now, let me ask you then, okay, so you're attempting to save 2%, correct?
Yeah.
All right, so when it comes to putting your home on the market, it was already on the market for 180 days. And evidently it was at the wrong price. So you're gonna have to reprice it if you're gonna do it alone, correct?
I'm probably gonna price it about 180, maybe $10,000 less.
Okay. So my question is, if that's the wrong number, then what are you gonna do?
I don't think it's gonna be a wrong number.
Well, you may be right. Well, what if it is the wrong number?
I'll just have to see and wait. I don't know that yet.
Well, let's just roll with me here. See, what am I
Okay,
got?
fine.
You guys, what am I? Listen, no, I'm talking to you, not as Susan. I'm talking to you as a seller. I mean, you're not really coming forth. You're not forthright. And I don't care if you role play like that. I'm going to press the seller for an answer. Now, now she's in California. It's not going to be a $10,000 dump reduction in price anyway. It's $1 million plus home. So number one, if a seller has been unsuccessful, they're going to have to put it back on the market, either at that number or more likely a number lower than that. So let's just move the conversation forward. Susan, when you put it back on the market, is it possible? Because you don't do this every day, that you might put it back on the market maybe 1% lower than it needs to be.
Maybe, but if I were to put it back on the market with an agent, I need to have that included in the commissions. So instead of 180, it may be higher than that.
I'm not even talking about, hey dude, I may not even want to list your home. Okay. You're so ornery. I'm just telling you, if you were to put your home on the market, is it possible that because it didn't sell at 1.2, you're going to have to pick a number lower than that? Is it possible the number you pick may be 1% lower than it needed to be?
Maybe, yeah.
And so you're attempting to save 2% to hire a professional. So maybe 1% is gone right there.
True. I see your point.
And then when an offer comes in from a buyer's agent you're willing to cooperate with and they're working with the buyer, is it possible, because you don't do this every day, you don't have the same perspective as somebody that does it every day, is it possible when an offer comes in that you may not negotiate as well as a professional, and you might negotiate a price 1% lower than you would have had if you had had an agent? You guys, you see what I'm doing? Here is the formula. You get them to acknowledge there's value in an agent, and they'll gladly pay someone to bring them a buyer. And the irony is they're giving money to the enemy.
I like that. Yeah, no, you're very clear in that concept.
I'm
I
sorry?
do see it. Very clear in that concept, but having that conversation, if a seller is stuck, and I'm actually working with one right now, if the seller is stuck on pricing, he wants to, if he's gonna hire an agent, first of all, the house is overpriced. If he wants to put it with an agent, he needs to have a higher price.
But still, it doesn't matter where the bottom line is, if you got to compare it with, they're not going to have an agent at all. Here's the formula. If find out if they're going to pay a buyer's agent, then what are they attempting to save? All right. And then it's a reduction to the ridiculous. They could misprice it a percent. On negotiation, they may not negotiate as well as a professional. And I've never said this before, but it's right. They're willing to pay the enemy, but they won't pay someone to help them. I'll stop. What do you think of that?
I like that. I like it just straight off to the top. You're paying the enemy and you're not paying someone to help you. They're like, huh? Then you explain it.
All right, I see some hands up. Don, who's playing?
Dr. Lauren and Tanner are up.
Tanner is going to Jose.
Is it Dr. Lauren or me? I think it's Dr.
It's
Lauren.
both of us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Tanner,
Dr. Lauren hasn't played yet, so you want to be the agent, Dr. Lauren?
Yeah, I'll be the agent.
Okay.
And
are you at the table or on the phone?
I'm at the table with, and this time it's going to be with it's a buyer, but they don't think that they can buy, so they're trying to rent. And I'm just trying to kind of overcome that objection and get them in contact with the lender.
Okay, so you're at Tanner's apartment that he's been renting for like 17 years, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, Tanner. Thanks again for having me over. I really appreciate the opportunity to help you in your next real estate move. I know we originally were talking about you renting, and when we previously spoke, you had mentioned wanting to buy. So I'm just curious, what's changed?
I mean, it looks like renting is less expensive to tell them. That's what changed our mind.
Okay. And have you had the opportunity to sit down with someone and run the numbers on what it looks like to rent versus buy?
Well, we did it in a ballpark, Dr. Lauren, and obviously, look, we're paying like $1,600. That payment is way more than what we pay right now. So obviously, it's more expensive.
Yeah, it definitely is a little bit more expensive, sure. I'm curious because I know
hang on, don't say that, Dr. Lauren.
It is more expensive though. In our scenario,
it isn't more expensive. It isn't more expensive.
Well, it is more expensive. However, I'm going to talk about it being an investment. I mean, it is literally, it's more money to be buying now. There's no doubt about that.
Would you like me
in
to
this
tell
particular scenario?
I'm sorry, I interrupted. Keep going.
So yes, I can understand that. The numbers initially look like it's a little bit more expensive to buy versus rent. I'm just curious, considering you guys are going to be starting your family soon, how much are you willing to invest in your family's financial future per month?
I mean, it's a good question, but again, it's just probably a little more than that, but not. I mean, I don't know what to tell you because we don't even know what's going to cost.
Oh my gosh, Tanner, and I completely understand that. You do not know how much it is going to cost, which is one of the reasons why I would recommend getting you in contact with one of our preferred lenders so that you can have all the information to make an educated decision as to whether or not now might be the right time to buy. Is that something you would be open to?
Well,
Time. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. All right, I'm gonna say stop. That's probably not how I'd handle that. Number one, you guys, I don't use lenders for that reason. I will say, let's just put the lenders. They're great for pre-qualifying, but getting them mentally prepared for a monthly investment is something you will do. And I would say I know I interrupted you, but you were just over 2 minutes taking out the interruption. Why is he thinking about buying?
Because he's starting a new family.
Is that what you said, Tanner?
No, I don't think she asked me the motivational question.
She didn't. No, you assumed that.
No, I assumed it because I was using it as my buyer, so that's what my buyer is moving for.
Oh, is that right? Okay, I'm sorry.
No, that's
all
okay.
right. But here's the thing, you guys, then you better be deeper than that. Why? They're having to start a new family. Tell me some emotional reason why they want to own instead of rent where they are.
Okay, I like that. I mean, I kind of know that a little bit, but I think when I go back to talk with them, because I'm gonna having a meeting with them next week, the real issue is that they're in a home right now where there's mold and
Hang on. All right, hang on. I want to go down the rabbit hole. So let me just role play with you really fast. You beat that really fast, Dr. Lauren. All right.
Okay.
So you're starting a new family. How long have you been renting?
Oh, we've been renting for the last 7 years.
And when did you have the first idea, inclination to want to buy your own home? Now, I think that's a strong statement, guys, to buy or own your own home. I think that's strong.
Well, I mean, we met with you last year when you had your buyer seminar. And so ever since last year, we've been thinking about wanting to buy.
And what has kept you from that?
It's too expensive.
Now, here's where that's very similar to what Tanner said. Here's what I wanted you to say. How much too expensive?
Well, we don't know. We just know that last time we spoke to someone, they pretty much said we wouldn't be able to afford anything that would fit in our budget.
So now remember what I say all the time, you guys, if you're going to be talking numbers, you had better get to what? Fly any airline you want on vacation, but numbers, you better get to Delta.
Get to the Delta, yep.
So now they said, well, you talk to someone. Okay, so let me ask you, if for whatever reason there's some program out there so let me ask you, is this a qualifying issue, meaning they're telling you don't qualify, or you do qualify and you feel it's too expensive?
No, I mean, they're pretty much thinking that we're not going to qualify.
Now I want to involve you guys. I want you guys to get in here and get with me. Talk to me about where you see I'm going and why I'm asking the questions I'm asking.
Well, I mean, I will say, Denny, real quick, because my phone might actually die. I liked how you said how much too expensive. I mean, I think the wording's a little, but I got what you were saying with that, and it caused me to pause. So I like that question.
Good. The other thing, guys, if they don't qualify, what can you do? Not as much. However, maybe they do qualify and they think it's what? Too expensive. Is there a difference, guys?
Yep.
Then if they qualify and think it's too expensive, how much too expensive? Well, I'm paying $1,600 and they want $2,400. Okay, that's $800. Let's say that's $25 a day. I'm just doing it in my head. So if they said they wanted to have the big their own home, forget about equity for a moment. Let's go to emotion. Why do you want to own your own? Well, you know, we want to have their own bedroom. We want to put a swing set in the back. Well, let me ask you, is having a swing set for your daughter as she grows up worth $20 a day or a Starbucks and a half? I mean, that's a familiar way, right? It's a very familiar pattern to quantify what that delta is, break it down to the ridiculous and a daily cost and compare it. You mean you're going to let your child have to live in the apartment complex? Never ever be able to own a dog for $20 a day? I mean, I want to get the Kleenex right now.
Oh,
Don, who's next?
Tanner and Jose. Tanner, is he at the table or on the phone?
So, you know, we'll do it at the table. So I got an appointment with this expired last night seller, but he was very difficult. And he, in fact, showed me something that he listed it on his own on HomeCoin. So it's like a free MLS listing, and they give you all these services for free, the home value report, photos, and stuff like that. So I just want to repractice that, if that's okay. So Jose, you'll be expired, but you want to list it on this website where it's $95 just to put it on the MLS, and they have additional like a few $100 to take pictures, give you reports and everything else. So why?
You know that person, so I guess you're going to be the seller, and then Jose is going to be the agent.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay.
Jose, you're at the table. Go.
Hey, Tanner, thank you for meeting with me today. After reviewing everything we went over, are you ready to move forward today?
Well, you know, thanks again. Well, okay, thanks again for stopping by, Jose. You know, I appreciate everything you shared, but I first would like to try it on this, you know, HomeCoin website. Apparently, you know, it's everything free. You know, they list it on the MLS, free photos and stuff. So I really want to try it first there.
Tell me what's important about listing it in the discount website to you, Tanner.
It's a good point. I mean, you know, they also told me that I could save about, you know, $15,000 in agent fees. So obviously the money talks.
Outside of saving on the agent fees, are you ready to move forward with me?
You know, I'll give it a try, and if it doesn't work, I can absolutely, you know, let you know. But as of now, that's what I'm looking at.
Now, let me ask you, what's important to you, saving money on agent fees or making a profit?
Well, am I not going to be making more money if I save on the agent fee?
Not necessarily.
Okay. How come?
Would you agree that making a profit is more important than having a discount service or represent you or list your property?
Profit, Jose, may not be the right word there.
What would be a
Netting,
better-
or maybe. I'm just sorry for the interruption, but you're saying profit. You know, profit may not be the right word. They may be selling it at a loss, but they're going to net more money, and it's not a profit. So just beware of that.
So Tanner,
Jose, I'll just play like that seller, okay? Just so you know. So Jose, you know, I'm aware of the law, what happened, and I'm willing to pay the buyer's fee. Whoever brings me a buyer, you know, I'll pay him, you know, 1.5%. I'm not, you know, stingy about it. So if you have a buyer, you could just bring me the buyer. That we could do it.
okay. So what's important to you? Just saving money to list your home or netting the most amount of money?
Yeah,
All right, Jose, hang on. Jose, I've modeled this twice. He said I would have asked, he just said, I'm going to pay a buyer's agent. Now, can you model what I modeled? If he's willing to pay it, why are you willing to pay a buyer's agent, Tanner?
so they could bring me, you know, they could bring me a qualified buyer. And
Yeah, but why? You don't have to pay them anything. You don't want to pay a listing agent anything. So why would you pay them something?
that I also understand, you know, apparently, like, you know, now we're not by law, we don't have to pay the buyer's agents anymore, but I'm willing to do it. I know that.
Well, then you must be willing to do it because you see a benefit in it, right?
Yes.
You see where I'm going? I'm having him acknowledge he's doing it because he sees there's a benefit. Here's the big picture, guys. They don't see a benefit in us as the listing agent. That's why they're cutting us out. And you can say, well, you're going to pay money to the enemy and you won't have anybody help you.
That's a
Hey,
Good point.
I actually like what Denny, I mean, the light bulb went up my head when we role play earlier. When you go into that rabbit hole, just say, you know, you're paying the enemy against you while you're not paying someone else to help you. Go through that and then talk about the NOS statistics, what that came about. So to solidify your claim.
Hey, Tanner, you can ask another question like, when was the last time you bought something on deep discount and you found out it was not what it was supposed to be?
Here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. I want to help you understand. My goal is to help you understand this. They are paying the listing fee. It's just not going to you. They're paying the buyer's agent fee and they're paying the listing fee to the buyer. How? Because they're not going to net the same amount of money because they don't have anyone to help them. They're paying the whole fee to the buyer.
Somebody's going to get a deal. It's going to be you or somebody else. In this case, it'll be somebody else, not you.
They're paying to get their house painted and they're painting it themselves. So it's not sinking in yet because I see the looks on your face.
Denny, is there another way that we can word that same scenario you're talking about? Like, I see what you're saying, but when I hear it, it seems confrontational or maybe too direct.
Fine. I'm gonna go back and say it again. Let's go back to Tanner's situation. So good, you're gonna pay a buyer's agent. So let me ask you then, when an offer comes in, what happens? Who negotiates the offer, Tanner?
I'll do it. I mean, I'll look into it and, I'll do it.
Got it. All right. Well, I'm gonna back up. Let's say your house doesn't sell in a reasonable time frame, and now you're gonna think, well, okay, well, maybe I have to lower the price. Who makes that decision?
Well, I make it, Danny, and also this, service gives me that free value report. So, I feel like I got the tools.
Okay, is it possible, because you're not talking to someone, you're relying on a free report, that you might lower your price 1% more than you need to? Is this sounding repetitive, guys?
Yeah.
And you're trying to save 1.5%. And oh, by the way, Tanner, when an offer comes in, who negotiates it?
Myself.
And so now this may not be as confident. You're paying the buyer's agent 1.5%, and they're working against you. So now, okay, you have no one in your corner. Is it possible, because you don't do this every day, you don't have the stats, and I mean, is it possible you negotiate a price 0.5% or 1% lower than a professional could? And oh, by the way, what happens when the appraisal comes in too low? And you know what? The first thing the buyer's going to do, Tanner, gonna lower price. Who's going to stand up for you? Oh, by the way, inspection, you got mold. Who's going to negotiate that for you? Let me just ask you. Let's say we were best pals, college pals, and I'm your agent, and I said I'll do it for free. Would you let me help you?
Yes, 100%.
Now you just have to demonstrate how you can do that. That's what I wanted you to do, is talk this point to you. What do you know your value? Who's next, Don?
Then if I may share just one thing, that's exactly, that's how I got my appointment, because he was very adamant about not paying agents and all that. So I'm like, look, if I was free to you, would you hire me? And look, if you don't find any value after my meeting, I will sign that I will sell you home for free. If you don't find any value, all I need is 15 minutes. That's how I got my appointment. So that was very helpful. But now I'll add, I'll go and meet him in person.
So Tanner, have they already signed with this flat fee brokerage or they're not?
Yeah, they do. It's called Home Coin.
So if they signed up, they become a listing. You cannot, I mean, in my MLS, you cannot approach somebody who's signed up with the flat fee brokerage.
It expired on the 31st of October.
Oh, it's expired out that also. Then it's okay.
And for some reason, then they reactivated it. She reactivated it a couple of days ago, but I was not aware. It was already expired. So that's why.
My only point was just be careful. If it's listed somebody, we don't want to step on
Oh,
that.
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it was expired and he missed it. I don't know what happened there. So, but he was very open. Yeah.
All right,
Okay,
let's go.
we got
Don,
hands
who's
up. The only hands I got up are Tanner and Susan.
Who's ready to play, guys? Come on. Oh, I recognize those
I
two
can play,
together.
but I can't unmute or I can't raise my hand for some reason.
I got somebody, Ann Skinner.
Yep.
Okay. Do you want to? And we got Sherry Beccario in the car. Is that,
Yes, I know who that is. I'm just,
That- is that Jenica?
I think it is Jenica.
In the car with,
Yes,
Everything-
Jenica and Deanna are here.
All right, so who's next? Quickly.
Okay. Jenica,
Okay,
you're the agent.
okay,
Are you at
what,
the-
I'll be the,
What, a table or phone?
oh, table's fine. In
Yeah,
what
I don't do
scenario?
phone- I don't do phone on Friday. This is all.
Okay.
Oh, table's good.
Okay,
Okay, you're at Jose's table.
What's the objection? Or can I be, or he just give it to me?
What do you want?
Okay.
1% agent.
1% agent. I think we
Can.
Okay.
What's that mean?
Oh, like a discount. Another company will do it for 1%.
okay,
Okay.
go.
Who is the person? Sorry, because we're on the card.
Jose.
Jose. Okay, Jose. Are you ready to put us to work?
I'm interested in. I'm sorry. I thought it was Tanner that was gonna go, but I'll take it, Jenica. So we're a seller, right?
Yes.
Okay, Jenica. Unfortunately, I want to meet with other agents to see if we can do it for cheaper, for less.
Okay. And outside of meeting with other agents, is there anything else stopping you from hiring us today?
Not necessarily. I'm just trying to, put as much money as possible in my pocket, and if agents can do it for less, I'm open to listening to them.
Okay. And let me ask you this, what are you getting for that 1% from that other agent? Have they went over that with you?
They have not. That's what I want to meet with them after this meeting.
Okay. And let me ask you this, how will you know when you've found the right agent? What criteria are you using?
That they're going to do the right marketing, that they're going to host the right open houses, and that they can their services are going to be less.
Okay. Okay, and then how will you know, I know they're charging you, I guess, are you more concerned about the fee they're charging or the net that you're gonna make when the sale's over?
The net that I'm going to make.
Okay, okay. And this is probably where I get stuck. I guess how will you know that they,
All right, yeah, you're in a close, so let me help you out. So let me ask you, is saving money or making money more important to you? That's another way of asking the question. Ask Jenica, which is fine.
Say that again, Denny?
Is saving money or making money, which is more important?
that's what we
Making.
Okay, so they said they'd do it for 1%.
Yes.
Now they came in with 1%, or did they have a higher percent and then you got them down?
I got them down.
What they originally come in at?
1.5.
Wow, congratulations. You're a good negotiator. So now, is that their fee? And what about what are you compensating? What kind of buyer incentives are you offering?
None.
So that's the listing fee is 1%,
Yes.
and you're not offering anything to the buyer's agent?
No.
Did the other agent give you the option on doing that?
No, they didn't.
Hmm. So let me ask you, there's a lot of ways to go, and I'm just gonna give you one so we go into, because I think we've got Ann ready on deck. So let me ask you this, Jose. If I were to match the 1% right now, would you hire me?
Yes.
You guys, that is a trap. Dr. Lauren recognizes that trap. That's when you walk through the woods and there's all leaves and the guy steps in it, and then on next thing you know, this big net swoops him up and he's hanging from a tree. Why would you hire me instead of them?
Oh, so
The
good.
value you bring to the table.
Do you think I bring more value to the table than them?
Yes. That's why we're sitting
No.
here.
Or do you think that value is worth more?
Yes.
Then that means that my fee, and I don't know what your fee is, let's just assume your fee is 2.5. How much more is my fee worth to you?
Right. X amount more.
Well, I mean, now he's swimming to me now.
Yes.
One more thing I want to say. One more
Denny,
thing I want to say.
Okay.
I purposely complimented him on his skill in negotiating. Why? I'm about ready to pull the rug out from under him. When they walk in with one fee, you got to find out first and negotiate to another one, man. You just got to make them feel great. And you are a great negotiator. And they'll like, oh, thanks so much. My mom told me that. And then you're going to have to say, well, let me ask you, would you like your agent to be a great negotiator, Jose?
Yes.
Do you sell houses for a living?
No.
You just out negotiated the person you're hired to negotiate your home sale. There you go. I mean, you got, I won't fill in all the blanks, but I'm giving you the erector set pieces to how you handle that objection. And you've been on this call enough where you can start recognizing, look, it's Mr. Potato Head. I know I'm corny. You guys don't even remember that game. It's Mr. Potato Head. There's only so many potatoes, and you add different eyes, right? As we start doing more practice, aren't you hearing some repetition, guys?
Could you just go back to the house outside of us and go back, say exactly what you said that way? So good.
What did I say?
Well, no, I just like what you said because we were just in that conversation, but I like what you said. If I was to do it for 1%, would you hire me? And they say, yeah, well, why would you do that? I think that's a great, sometimes the words just don't come out. I just keep practicing. So.
Well, if they want to hire you, so if anyone, hey, look, yeah, you know what? If you match their fee, I'll do it. It's a trap. Okay, well, why? Make them tell you how great you are, and I like this about you, I like that about you, I like that about you. An hour later, you can tell them to stop. Who's next?
Thank you.
And Skinner is next.
And there we go. Very patient.
Sure. Happy to go. I can do any objection. If you want to give me one, I'll go for it.
Oh, I love it.
I'll try.
Who wants to be the seller? Okay, Jocelyn. Oh, we got Breckenridge to Breckenridge. All right. This is gonna be cool.
We're actually
Cool.
in the same office right now. Is there a?
You're fine.
You guys are good.
You're good.
Okay, what's my objection, Jocelyn?
I want to wait until the spring to put it on the market.
Okay, fantastic. Well, I can completely understand that, Jocelyn. Tell me a little bit more. What about spring is important to you?
Oh, but that's when all the buyers come to the market and they're looking for homes in the spring. No one wants to move in the winter.
Sure. I can completely understand that. And, if you're feeling that way, what do you think other sellers are probably thinking?
Well, I see that there's a lot of homes on the market right now. So I think people are still selling in the winter time, but that's just not the time to do it.
Sure. And I can understand that. I think, if you're feeling that way, it's probably likely that there's quite a few other sellers that are also having that same thought process. So how do you think it's going to go if we put your home on the market at the current level of competition versus now versus in the spring when maybe we have double the number of homes that are on the market?
That's a good point. But I think it'll still be, I think we'll still be better off. There'd be
Sure,
more
and tell me a
buyers
little
over.
bit- Okay.
I think there would be more buyers at that time. So even if there's more sellers, homes, we still have more buyers. So I think it'll work out.
Well, generally whenever we've got a supply and demand issue going on here, the more supply that we have, there's often going to be a lot of buyers who are looking for those special properties that are really truly deals. Are you willing to price your home at a price point where it's going to stand out up against all the competition?
Well, no, we want the most for it.
Got it. So you're really looking to net the most at the end of the day. Is that right?
You guys
Okay.
remember you're at the table. This isn't a phone call.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So if we're looking to net the most at the end of the day, there's still a ton of buyers out there right now. If we could sell your home today for the price that you're most interested in, would you be willing to go ahead and list your home today?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. If we could get the price we want and you think it can sell quickly, we're good to go.
Absolutely. I think now is going to be a great time because you're not going to have as much competition. So let's go ahead and do the right thing and sign this agreement, and we'll go ahead and put your home on the market in the next week.
Okay. I feel like I was too easy.
You were.
Have
Well,
Denny go,
actually,
okay? He'll give you a hard time.
So you guys, I don't know if you're on the beginning of the call. I was in Denver and I called and,
Oh,
and
cool.
heard you got 3.5 feet of, they got 3.5 feet of snow. How much you get in the mountains?
It's dumping right now.
And you can
Ah,
see that.
cool. So I think you did a really nice job, Anne, with your questions and so forth. Very nice. Obviously, you've been practiced. And so I was, and there's a lot of ways to handle it. A couple different things. Here's my feedback. Why is she selling?
I didn't get to that point because I was assuming we had already discussed it. So
Okay, and many times you can, but why should we know?
because then you can tie it back to that. I can say, you told me you need to be in X, Y, and Z location in the next 3 months or whatever it is.
Yeah, but you were working with a lot of discretionary second home people there probably, so
We
that
are.
may not be the case. So,
Yes.
so what's another reason why you would want to know? Here's the ball, here's the baseball diamond. You want to go to, you have to have motivation. You can't add pain to motivation. So you were going the right path. Hey, look, if you're 108, other people are going to 108. Love that. However, if you knew her motivation, what else could you do?
Again, just tie it back to whatever it was or create more pain around that motivation potentially.
So let me take is it who is that? Is it not Jocelyn, right?
Yeah.
Jocelyn, are you there?
Yeah. All right, can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, I just can't see you. Okay, so let me ask you, what are you going to do when you sell this home?
Oh, we're just gonna put it all in the stock market. It's great right now.
Okay. And when did you make that decision?
2 days ago.
Yeah, I got it. And again, because I know the stock market took a big jump and, maybe it's going to be bullish because of the presidential change, who knows what. So would timing be important?
Yeah.
So,
To do it now.
so are you wanting to take maybe you feel like it's going to be a little bullish because of the administration change?
Yeah.
So now I'm not an expert on stocks. However, it seems to be timing's important. Like it already went up like 1,500 points as soon as the election was announced. Do you think getting on that roller coaster is better for you sooner versus later?
Probably.
So you see now, because you know her motivation and you can add some pain, and the pain is, well, if you want to wait and sell later, would you have missed your opportunity to buy the stock at a lower price? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's great.
Always understand the other side of the coin. Don, we have time for one more. Who wants to play? Who wants to end this with a bang?
Well, I got Susan raising her hand, and I was gonna say, Jocelyn, you can be the agent.
Yeah.
I'll be at the table.
Okay, what's my objection?
You tell me.
You're gonna wait for the holidays to pass before selling.
There you go. All
There you
right.
go.
Okay. All right, so Don, I understand that you want to wait until after the holidays to get your home on the market.
Yeah, yes.
Can you tell me a little bit more about why you want to do that?
Well, it's only like 6 weeks away. People have Christmas trees already up here and silly. We don't want to be bothered by, we got family coming in town. We just don't want to be bothered with showings when we have family here.
Sure, sure. And are you aware that, you know, we are in a destination ski town. We got lots of people coming to the mountains during the holidays. Do you think maybe they would want to see your home while they're here?
Oh, yeah, that is a possibility. Sure.
And what happens if the right buyers come to the mountains and your home's not on the market for them to see?
I guess they go skiing instead of seeing my place.
Or maybe they find something else that they just, you know, maybe they're going to settle for something else and not find your home on the market. Is that going to be a detriment for you?
Well, I think it'll
Look behind
be
me, Jocelyn.
Oh
It
yeah.
could be,
Oh
it
yeah.
could be
Oh
ju-
yeah.
yeah, just as many in January as there are in December.
Yeah, and remind me why you're selling again?
Well, we bought this as a second home. We just don't get up here that much from Scottsdale. We don't use this place that much. It's a waste of money.
I hear that, yeah. And don't you think it would be the right move to get it on the market as soon as possible so you can, you know, have the relief of not having that second mortgage or
That's a leading question. That's a
Yeah.
weak question.
yeah.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that. I was
okay.
gonna push back.
So
Okay,
Don, let me ask you, let me help you out. I'm gonna tag team it here.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Sure.
hey, Don, so let me ask you, when do you think that on the calendar, where do you think is the most concentration of serious buyers?
Probably January to the end of ski season. March.
Well, actually, you're almost right. It's during the holidays.
Really?
Yeah, because if people are looking during the holidays and they've got as many things going on as you do, wouldn't it indicate they're pretty serious?
Yeah.
And when do you think the listing inventory is the lowest on the calendar?
Okay. During the holidays, I'll bet, right?
Yeah.
So my question is, do you want to be in a race with more competitors or fewer?
No, I like more.
See, that would be another way to go.
Mhm.
Okay.
One more, okay, coach, one more thing you can chime in is if you could sell now without being inconvenienced and you could potentially sell faster for more money, would you still consider that?
Yep.
Yeah, you just have to, I mean, Jay, I get that. That is a great question. It's unless you have led up to that, it's a little bit salesman-y.
Right.
Because you're going to have to demonstrate. See, you're making a statement about selling for more money. I'm asking him questions to come to the same conclusion.
Right.
You see what I'm saying, Jay?
Yep.
So, hey, listen, I am so glad to be home after being on the road all week, and I've got 2 more weeks to finish it. Did anyone share? Don't hang up yet, you guys. Share, because people are going to watch this tape. Share an aha. What did you learn today? Or what V8 moments did you have? What light bulbs went off?
Always bring it back to motivation. I like forget that. So
Good. Love that. What else?
Yeah, I like that. Get back to motivation. And I like what you said, coach. Don't lead with statement, ask questions, leading questions, so that they come up to the conclusion and you're leading them rather than giving them statement, asking questions. Great questions.
Okay. Anything else?
One
Yes.
Decimal
question.
portion where you turn the table around for your value to the seller versus paying commission to the buyer. That was really good.
Yes, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Why would you pay for the buyer, and why are you paying the enemy, instead of having someone represent you?
You know, that is a little bit All right, I'll give you another way because somebody said that might be a little aggressive. Like I think it was Jose. Are you still here?
Yes.
Why would you root for the away team?
I like that.
Happens a
That's
lot
not as-
here in
that's not
Arizona.
as painful. I mean, why would you root for the Cardinals ever?
Now you can.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you being on. It's happy hour somewhere. Love your meeting, Knuckle Bump. And hey,
Thanks,
go to my
Coach.
YouTube channel if you haven't already, Danny Grimes Mastery of Real Estate, and like it. And whoever gets to be my 1,000th person, I'll give you a 2 tickets to Greece. Love the movie. All right, see you guys.